Bună ziua, stimați telespectatori, bine ați revenit la Decenius Live. Astăzi avem un invitat cu totul și cu totul special, o persoană care ne va lămuri mult în ceea ce privește programul de înarmare al României, program despre care dumneavoastră, cititorii noștri, ați aflat foarte multe, peste 10 miliarde de euro în următorii 10 ani. Deci cineva care ne va lămuri și asupra chestiunilor de securitate și, zic eu, și asupra rolului geostrategic al României în regiune. Este vorba despre vicepreședintele Mbda, domnul Didier Philippe. Welcome, sir, to DC News and to Defense Romania.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a privilege for us to have you here in an interview. I guess it's the first interview you give in the Romanian press, at least for this year.
Yes, and
for this year.
Thank you. Okay.
Pentru telespectatorii noștri, Mbda este cel mai mare concern european producător de rachete de luptă. De altfel, din acest moment, domnul Didier Philippe ne va spune multe lucruri în legătură cu compania sa și mai ales lucruri care ne interesează cel mai mult cu România. So, sir, if you would like to make a few comments about the company you represent as vice president all over Europe, but for the moment you are based in Romania. You visit Romania many times.
Yes, we have a lot of projects going on here, and so it's not my first visit, as you can imagine.
Yes.
A few words about Mbda. So Mbda is a fully European company. It is a result of the successive merge of 6 European missile companies over the last 20 years. 2 French companies, 2 British companies, 1 Italian company, 1 German company merged step by step in order to create the European leader for tactical missile, number 2 in the world for tactical missile, Mbda. It represents 10,000 people, about half in France, and then by order UK, Italy, and Germany. We had a small antenna now in Spain to develop activity there also. Our shareholders are European leaders in aerospace activities, 3 of them, Airbus, BAE System, and Finmeccanica of Italy. So fully European shareholders, fully European integrated company, very often given as an example of what Europe should do in order to have the good size to compete over the world market and have access to all the technologies needed to develop for our forces the right weapon to cope with the threats of tomorrow.
The company has many employees, and what is the annual budget we are talking about?
Yes, so around 10,000 employees. I forgot to mention that we are hiring between 1,000 and 1,500 new employees every year, the last 2 years, because to cope with the increase of order that Mbda got on the international market the last years, the turnover, so the deliveries to the customer, the last 2 years is around 3 billion euro, whereas the new orders, contracts signed in force, were about 5 billion euro each of the last 2 years. So you see a sharp increase in the activity of the company.
Because Europe is taking more and more care about its security, probably.
Exactly. Our home market is basically Europe, but mainly France, UK, Italy, Germany, and then Europe and export. And the efforts made by many European countries to reach the 2% target of defense budget, in which a big part is 20 to 40% here in Romania for investment, makes a strong demand to renew the old missile and missile systems that were in service since decades and decades.
I understand you are competing now in a tender in the Ministry of Defense, well, in the government of Romania, For several things. One of the things you're competing now, it's those coast missiles systems. Very important because Romania has discovered important resources of oil and gas in the Black Sea, in its territory in the Black Sea, but also Russia is not very far away, and of course nobody expects that Russia attacks Romania or Romania attacks Russia, but security is very important. So you have this project with those coast missile systems. What's going on with it?
Yes, you mentioned the oil and gas, but also very important, the Black Sea coast is the eastern border of Europe today. So
and of NATO.
Of NATO and of Europe, exactly. NATO can go further with Turkey, but Europe is stopping at...
Yes, but this shore here is both EU and NATO.
Exactly. So this project is based on to replace the old Russian Styx missiles with coastal batteries using the same anti-ship missile as the one that will be used for the Corvette and for the frigates in the other program. So as far as Mbda is concerned, we are proposing the latest generation of Exocet Block 3. Exocet is very well known. You know, it has been combat proven through many conflicts around the world. We benefit from that experience. The conflict
in Maldives, in Falkland Islands.
And many others. We based and improved the product step by step based on that experience. We have in the last recent years sold more than 500 Exocet Block 3. We have already produced around 400 of them, and we are producing the remaining 100 in our order book. We equip about 60 corvettes and frigates in 11 different navies in the world, NATO and export. 60 corvette and frigate equipped with Exocet Block 3, and we are in negotiation to equip around 24 additional corvette or frigate in the world today. So it's a big success, and we have also derived coastal defense batteries with Exocet. We have today still in service, operational service, 2 countries equipped with Exocet coastal battery in NATO and Europe. They are equipped with Exocet Block 2, and they are progressively going to Block 3 through update of the system. We have also won a very important competition 2 years ago now, 2016. It was an open tender. Everybody participated from China, Russia to every other US and European companies. We won this competition. We received already more than 150 million euro payments to fulfill this big contract, and we are under production in order to deliver in the coming years this new generation coastal battery. So I think Mbda is fully qualified to participate to both the Corvette, retrofit of frigate, and coastal defense with this leader in sales for anti-ship missile, which is Exocet Block 3.
But I understand there is a problem with the tender for those coastal batteries right now, which is a little bit odd. Only one company from a northern country is allowed to participate. So if there is no tender anymore.
You are perfectly right. If the tender was issued like the draft was drafted, only one company could compete with a product which is proposed by none of the 4 shipyards for the Corvette program, which doesn't fulfill the operational requirement of the Navy as far as I understand, because it's not really all-weather, it's infrared missile only. And therefore you would have a competition based on something which is not on board the ship and which is not fulfilling the operational requirement at the best, and which will not, by nature, being only one candidate, fulfill the requirement of an open tender. I received personally comments from Mr. Fifor, the defense minister, and from Mr. Ignat, who said there is no way that Exocet would not be part of the competition and Mbda would be out of the competition. So I'm very confident that the final version of the draft law, of the law, when it issued, will allow us to participate to a fair competition.
It's a little bit odd what's going on, because so basically Mbda is proposing the same kind of missiles both for the coastal batteries, also for the Navy, corvettes and frigates, and also for the air forces, which are improving now with the new F-16, well, new, old, refurbished F-16. But at the competition, which should be open to all the Western world, right? Because as a NATO country, you cannot buy from China or Russia, but to all the Western world, it looks like the project, the law project, only allows one company to participate.
I can't believe that that would be the final version of the text, because that would be really a non-competitive offer. And it was said clearly, repeatedly, that it will be competitive competition. And for that, you need to have more than one candidate and to give the chance for the user to buy something that fulfills its requirement at a reasonable cost.
How much is this contract for the coastal batteries?
It's about 137 million euros, if I recall, for the project, without tax.
I guess even a bigger project was bought by Romania in this spring, directly without any competition from an American company, but it was another kind of missile, I understand.
You're right. So far, there was no competition in the last procurement of Romania with Patriot. There was a European alternative with Aster, which was, I think, very competitive in terms of price and performance. Political choice was to go directly G2G with the US for
government to government.
To government. The same was done for IMAR, and you mentioned heavy amounts of procurement in that case. That was also without competition, but more than that, in both cases without applying of the offset law, without any significant industrial cooperation. And that is not the way you will revive your industry if all the money is spent directly with a foreign company without injecting any money into your industry. You need know-how, you need technology, and more than that, you need a partner which is ready to cooperate. And I think there, Mbda is very strong because we are made of cooperation. We have made companies from France, UK, Italy, Germany work together. We have created area of excellence in each of those countries. It was 20 years of hard work to arrive to this European integrated company. We can do it also here in Romania with your industry.
We need to talk about this offset law, and I'll speak also in Romanian, so I make sure that our readers in DC News and Defense Romania will perfectly understand what we are talking about. But you talked about this first tender, which by a mistake, I'm sure it's just a mistake, the biggest European company producing missiles cannot participate. What about the second one? I understand from you, you have a second tender, you're participating, not directly I understand, but with your equipments, is the Corvette tender, which is going on these weeks, even if it's the middle of the summer in Bucharest.
Yes, you know, we have equipped many ships in the world. Sorry, in the world with our missiles, mainly air defense and anti-ship. Here you have 4 candidates which were shortlisted to make proposal for new Corvette. We are operational with those 2 missiles on board 3 of the 4 candidates, meaning naval group for sure, but also Fincantieri and also Damen have in service ship of this category equipped with Exocet Block 3 and with Velmica. VLMICA is the air defense missile, and it is the same that we propose also for the SHORAD-VSHORAD program. It is very...
SHORAD-VSHORAD, it's a lot of terminology.
Yes, I'm sorry, I hate acronyms myself, but I use some. So it's very short-range air defense and short-range air defense. It's an integrated two-layer system.
So rockets which have to hit the target at a very short range, that means 1 kilometer?
No, it's an old terminology. In fact, with our very short range, we can engage the target at 9 kilometers.
9 kilometers.
And
with
with
the short one?
Short range, you can destroy it up to 20 kilometers.
20 kilometers, okay.
So the big advantage is that the missile we propose, VLMICA, is in fact two missiles. They are the same missile, but one is functioning with an active radar. And the second one has a different seeker, which is infrared. And the combination of the two is very strong to protect against any type of attack in any kind of weather. What is also very important, both for the Navy and for the land forces, is that it is vertically launched. Being vertically launched, it means you offer a really 360-degree coverage. When you shoot like this on a ship, you have angles of protections which doesn't allow you to have a total 360 protection. If you have vertical launch, each missile can go in any direction, especially against combinated attack, which will attack the ship from 4 different directions at the same time. It's easy now to coordinate an attack so that the missiles arrive on the ship from 4 different directions at the same time. If you don't have a vertical launch protection, like the one offered by Vertical Launch MICA, you cannot assure the protection of the ship correctly. So this is very important. It is the same missile that will equip that we propose to equip the land-based air defense for the land force and for the Air Force air defense. And the same missile, MICA, would be integrated, a lot of parts produced, and long-term maintained in Romania with our partner Electromecanica Ploiești and other companies of the Remarm group. You remember 1 year ago, during the visit of French President Macron in Romania, we signed.
Qui s'est passé en août.
24 août.
It has gone in 24th of August.
Exactly. And during the visit, in front of your president, in front of our president, in front of your Minister of Economy, who at that time was Mr. Fifor, and the previous Minister of Defense, we signed with we signed with the President of Remarm and the President of Electromecanica Ploiești an agreement in order to work together, in order to offer to manufacture in Romania as much as possible, thanks to transfer of know-how, thanks to training of your people in many areas. It can be in procurement, in manufacturing, in quality control, in all the aspects which are needed in order to be able to know how the system is made, to manufacture parts, to integrate, to test, to deliver to the customer, and then to make the long-term maintenance of the system over the 20, 30 years where the system will be 40 years, where the system will be in service. The big advantage for sure to have the same missile in the Navy, in the land force and in the Army is that the investment that is needed in order to have the toolings, to the machine, the test benches, the training of the people will be used for the benefit of the three forces. And when an improvement will be made,
it will be made
for everybody. A lot of synergy also because the second element of the air defense system for the land and air force is a Mistral, the latest generation, Mistral 3. And we offer also this missile to be produced locally, integrated locally, long-term maintained locally at the system level. This with companies like I mentioned Electromechanical Ployage, but Morini, for example, seems to be a very good partner for adaptation on vehicle and many other.
Morini, yes,
Morini.
the company in Morini, yes.
Yes. And we see from the Roman company we have been discussing a lot of details for every part, every element of the system, communication, command and control, launchers, not only missiles. We have seen people who are really willing to work with us. They see that their future with Mbda will be very different because we are not afraid of cooperating. We want strong partner in Romania for Mbda on the long term.
We pass to the next question, which is the offset law. I'll just say a few words in Romanian. Legea offsetului în România, din nefericire niciodată aplicată până acum, prevede că dacă o țară cumpără echipamente militare din străinătate, compania respectivă se angajează să facă investiții sau să producă la nivelul valorii de cumpărare a echipamentelor militare. Ceea ce ar reprezenta, nu știu, nu vă luați neapărat de cifre, dacă România cumpăra echipamente de 1 miliard de euro de la Mbda, în timp Mbda ar investi sau ar produce de 1 miliard de euro în România. Lucrurile astea nu se aplică la achizițiile din Statele Unite, fiindcă este ceea ce aflam aici, contractul guvern la guvern, unde nu este nevoie de offset. Deci pentru rachetele Patriot, de exemplu, nu se face offset. Se plătește furnitura, rachetele, de 4 miliarde de euro în total. Americanii nu au obligația de offset în România în această chestiune. Și atunci, important e că Mbda va folosi toată industria românească de armament pentru offset. So, after this small explanation for our readers, you intend to cover the amount of procurement which will be made by Romania in time with those Romanian company from the defense industries you want to attract in your project?
Yes, we consider that for a country like Romania, spending a huge amount of money when you compare to what was done in the past in defense cannot be done on the long term without involving the industry deeply. To do that, if you don't do that, the industry in this field just dies, because you won't have new program before 20 years and they will have no more access to any technology to survive. So for that you need a partner who is ready to cooperate. You cannot force people to cooperate. You must have people who are ready to cooperate, and we are ready to cooperate. We have experience to cooperate. We have been evaluating the competence of your people. We know you have very good engineers, you have very good workers. However, they need contracts. They need to have customers, and for that they need to have catch up in terms of technology, quality control, long-term support capability, and so on. This is what we are ready to bring to the Romanian missile and missile system defense industry, thanks to our experience of cooperation, our access to all the type of technology. For sure, there is some investment to be made by the Ministry of Economy for the industry to be capable to absorb this kind of transfer. But I think it's a long-term choice that Romania has to make, and to make with a European partner, which is
because
both
Romania is
capable.
European.
Yes.
It's a European country, and that means very high technology, the latest technology, which will be exported and used in Romania, one thing. Then you have a very good industrial knowledge. We know that Airbus has a factory in Brasov, Airbus helicopter, which is also a transfer of technology. I don't want to speak about France, which is probably the most well-known brand in Romania, which is Renault, which was at the end
very good example of success.
Very good, a huge success, not only in Romania but all around the world, worldwide. And that means that such technology can help Romania in also exporting those products once you put a part of the production in Romania.
Clearly, once Moreni, for example, as we were discussing, is qualified to have an adaptation on vehicle of a launcher. When we have export customers with the same type of vehicle and the requirements, I'm sure they will be competitive, and it will be natural for us to use them as a partner to fulfill this export obligation. So once the effort is done to catch up, to be qualified, to get our methods to work together, then they will become natural partners for us. And they should be competitive in terms of price, quality, and so on.
You know, those factories, they were very famous before the revolution in 1989 when the communist system folded. But unfortunately, in the last 30 years, there were no investments there. And they're in parts of Romania, not far from Bucharest, under the hills. They're small cities which were living out of the company. That means that you can bring to life cities in Romania which are ghost cities now.
We would be very proud to do that. You know, we have been sending experts to them, to the different factories in the last 6 months, to go really into the details. Sometimes we see, okay, they have the capability. They don't do it the same way as we do, but it will work. It will use more manpower than we do to do the same job, but with still low-cost manpower, it makes sense. It will give employment, and the job will be done perfectly in terms of technical performance. Speaking about all the vehicles, adaptation, launchers, manufacturing of launchers also. So we will not try to impose when you have the technology, when you have the know-how which can work, we will not impose you to do something else. But we will use your capacity. When the capacity does not exist, then we will transfer know-how, then we will teach you how to do it, and so on. So we have a very flexible, adaptative method of evaluation. The result being the user must have, at the end of the day, the same level of quality and performance as if it was done by us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. Been a pleasure to have you here with us, and we expect you probably after the Romanian government will take one of those decisions to talk about what is going to happen. It's very important not only to be defended, and it's crucial to be defended by the American forces in the strategic partnership, but it's also as important, if even not more important, to produce your own weapons, high-tech weapons, with high-level companies in our country. Vă mulțumim foarte mult pentru atenție și vă așteptăm, ca de obicei, zilnic la ora 11 la The Genius Live. La revedere!
La revedere! Mulțumesc!